So now we're getting ready to call Soho Johnny.
Here you
There
are.
you are. Hey, look at
hey.
you. Another handsome Italian. What can I tell you? Right? We Italians, not bad, right? ¿Cómo está?
Come stai? Come stai?
Parla italiano.
Yeah.
No. My parents, my grandparents, I don't even know if they came here. I think they were born here, but my mom didn't even really speak Italian. My father did, but without mom, I didn't. It wasn't a second language for me. Although back in those days, I'm not going to date myself, as we all know. Assimilation was, you tried to assimilate into America with English.
Yeah.
Now it's the opposite. The culture, you reinvent your culture and your background and everything, which I think is a beautiful thing.
I don't think it's so beautiful because I love English and I love American and I love America and I love being an American. My father came from Genoa, Italy, and he learned English. My grandmother came from Venice. She learned English. Everybody in our family that was from Italy learned English because they didn't want to follow Americano. They wanted to be Americans. And I think when you come to this country, you should be an American or stay in your own country and be whoever the hell you are. And that's my opinion, because, we are Americans and my family and my ancestors built this country. Laborers, they were bricklayers, they were bridge builders. Shut up, I'm doing the whole thing.
I know, but
anyway, Johnny.
So everybody, first of all, we have to tell everybody who this is. This is Soho Johnny, everybody. He is a phenomenal party person who is throwing the biggest party ever.
Who looks like Vic Damone.
And He's throwing the classic summer disco extravaganza, and I should introduce you. This is Ron Russell.
We're going to meet.
And I'm Jimmy Star, and we have tons of people playing. Say hi to everybody in the chat room. Just say hi.
Hello, everybody.
There you go. And on August 10th, 2019, at the Italian Center of Stamford, which is in Stamford, Connecticut, Johnny is hosting, along with Denny Terrio from Dance Fever, the classic summer disco extravaganza. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's something that comes from a passion of music, my heart, and Soho Johnny was just a name that was invented that a lot of people called me because I have several generations that started back in Soho, Manhattan. My family was poor. They came to the country like many families and made a living there, had a trucking business, and then I ventured into real estate. So I'm really a real estate guy, a desk behind the desk like many of the audience out there. And this is not like my full-time gig, but I started doing parties. I mean, listen, I'll tell you, I was born in Manhattan, and I was brought up my early youth in Stuyvesant Town, otherwise called Peter Cooper Village, which many people would identify with.
Yeah, I know.
And then my family moved me, and that was in the 60s, going back in the day, right? And then we moved to the 70s into the Bronx and to the sister complex that was built by MetLife in the day called Parkchester. And
I know it well. I'm a New Yorker. I was born in Brooklyn, and your family was in trucking. Hello, I've got a lot of good friends that are in trucking. Okay, we used to go to the trucks and get fur coats and suits and chandeliers back in the good old days. For like, hey, you got a color TV? Yeah, Wednesday we got a truck coming in with color TVs. Those were the good days.
I remember the first color TV. I think I saw the moon landing in 1969 with my dad and went in our country house up in Greenwood Lake. But just getting back to the whole background. So that was my moniker that was given to me, Soho Johnny, being brought up back then and having an office, and my family worked there. And, in the 70s, like I was in the Bronx, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I was so much into music and entertainment, I guess, as a kid. And I mean, back in the 70s, many of the audience may remember, if they knew the areas, certain areas like the Bronx, I mean, there was gangs roaming the streets, there was all this unrest, and it was a totally different New York City.
The Fordham Baldies. Do you remember the Fordham Baldies?
Fordham Baldies.
Everybody was afraid of them.
Yeah, the Panthers. There was a whole list of them. And I had my parents, when I finally bought a house in the Bronx, they utilized the garage in the Bronx, and I used to have my friends over after school. I mean, it was crazy. After, like, we were going to, I guess I graduated grammar school, began high school, and after school we would just go there and then have a strobe light. This was probably a little bit pre-disco, then into disco and music. And I think my families and all the other parents out there of my friends were happy that they were in our backyard rather than be out on the streets, to be quite honest.
Absolutely. I'm a lot older than you. I was born in 1940, so I'm a war kid. I watched America become greater and greater and greater in the 50s. And then the 60s kind of declined in a lot of ways, but the 50s, you couldn't live in a better country in the world than America in the 1950s. How did you get along with the 1950s?
Hey, hang on, we don't have that much time for all of it.
Goodbye.
I want to talk about the event.
Well, talk about the event because we're going to try to get there. We're going to New York in August, and I'm dying to go to your event because it's all paisanos, all my pals. Well, it's the Italian club. Come on, you got good salami up there? What? You're going to get the salami from Brooklyn or the Bronx?
It's not all Italian. It just happens to be the name of the center, but they're all beautiful people that have welcomed me back. I did this last year. Last year, it was more of an open forum. I didn't sell tickets. This time we're selling tickets. And, a portion of the proceeds I give the American Cancer Society. And, listen, I tell people this is not a profit for me. It's just merely giving back because I love entertaining. I love life. I love music. And this is a genre of music I identify with very, very much.
But you're not telling us what you do with music.
No, he's just putting on the show.
Well, wait a minute, Jimmy. He's not being clear about it. Do we play an instrument? Does he sing? Does he?
No, he's just throwing these concert events.
Let him tell us, not you, big mouth. Go ahead. You go.
Actually, I'm not a professional artist when it comes to music. I have at my events like last year. I think we have some video. I don't know if it's up on the website. But I've sung and I did a choreography dance routine when I introduced the act. I really get into it because it comes from the heart. I'm not saying I'm a professional, but I really, really enjoy entertaining and giving back to love. And I lost my dad to cancer. So I think about the American Cancer Society giving back in that regard. And that's really what it is about. I'm just one guy trying to create a great show and bring the artists together. The artists, I treat them like royalty themselves. I try to make everybody happy and I'll send this off. So it's August 10th in Stamford, Connecticut, and it's an all-day festival.
Okay, how much are the tickets?
$48. And, once I tell you that it includes a daytime barbecue and evening buffet, plus about 16, I don't know, we're probably up to 17 artists, original tribute artists, you can see the price is not a matter of profit-driven event. It's a matter of passion.
All of that for under $50? Are you kidding?
I know some people say I'm insane doing this, and I'm not like that.
That's some deal, boy. I can't wait to go.
So tell us.
That's a great deal.
Tell us who your artists are. I have them written down in case you forget anybody. I'll help. Look at him. He's going. He's going to find it
here because I can't. I have these senior moments, these senior farts, as you call them.
But, I have them. I'm 79. I got more than that. I got too much.
No, hang on here.
Here she is.
That's Gail. Hi, Gail.
This is Gail.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Gail.
Gail is my backbone here, and I have a good friend of mine, Steve Calipay, is the event coordinator. He's my spine, as I called him. I was just on another show last week. But anyway, so Danny Terrio, originally of Dance Fever, remember him, and he was the dance coach of John Travolta back in the day before Saturday Night Fever. He's going to be hosting it with me. I'm privileged to have him. Tavares, Harold Melvin's Blue Notes, Heat Wave, Instant Funk, Planet Patrol, Sharon Brown, Radio featuring Arnell Carmichael, Fonda Ray, Jimmy Bohorn, Mini Kiss. Mini Kiss is not really disco, but they're doing there's just little people doing Kiss songs and they get dressed up in the makeup. It's hilarious and we love them. Terry DeSario, Double Exposure. Robert Barco does his tribute to George Michael. He's great. Constantine Morales, a lot of us know him as from Rock of Ages and American Idol finalist. He's fantastic. He was at the show last year. We have Luther Vandross tributes as well, Teddy Pendergrass. And we've got some tributes that we're going to do to Major Harris, remember. And I'm going to forget somebody here. I'm probably
Danny Clay.
Yeah, Danny Clay. There was Danny Clay. I think he does. Luther Vandross. I think, and Stan the Man does. I might get it mixed up a little bit. So, guys out there, forgive me if forgetting the names.
Star Hansen.
And and we just had a freak. I was on my way to a show called Date Night with Connie and Chrissy. It's on a cable channel in Long Island, and their friends, and I was on their show briefly. And on the way there, I get a call from a friend, Star Hansen, and many of you know him as Hansen and Davis from Hungry for Your Love.
Hungry for Your Love, yeah.
Freestyle artist, yeah. So that was great. And he ended up getting on the show. And after speaking to the gals over there, they let me take him on the show. And so he's a reach and add on to August 10th. So I have a lot of love and support from everybody here, and we're all trying to do a great thing here. And, it's just my love of entertainment. That's really what it boils down to.
And Jimmy Bohorn. I think, did we mention Jimmy Bohorn?
Jimmy Bohorn. Did I miss him? Okay, I love Jimmy.
Okay, we got. If you really want this show to blow off the map, just lie and say Madonna's coming.
It'd be fabulous.
I want to go. When are we going to be? August.
I don't know.
We're shooting a movie in. Where are we going?
You can't talk about any of those things.
Oh, screw you! I hate this bullshit today. It's worse than being in Brooklyn with the mafia, where you can't talk names. I mean, this is ridiculous. I can't talk about the movie I'm in. Nothing. But anyway, we're supposed to be, for some reason, in New York. Atlanta in August. What date is your show?
August 10th.
No, I didn't ask you, Big Mouth.
I know, but we gotta get all the information out.
I want to ask Pasquale. What's your date?
It's August 10th. It's at the Italian Center of Stamford Country Club, 1620 Newfield Avenue. It's less than an hour from the New York City limits, and it's great. There's plenty of hotel accommodations in Stamford, and a lot of people are making it a day and night, making it a beautiful weekend, and I hope to see everybody come, and it would be very special.
It sounds sensational.
And tell them where to get the tickets, Johnny.
Tickets are on sohojohnny.com. That's SOHOJOHNNY with 2 N's.com. They're also on Eventbrite if you type in Classic Summer Disco Extravaganza. But Soho Johnny also has an opportunity for some sponsorships, corporate sponsorships that some are trickling in.
And you can go to Soho Johnny to find out about that, too. If you go to sohojohnny.com, you can click on sponsorships.
Sounds like a great show. And you know what? We may be in New York the beginning of August. I will see you in person.
I would love that. That would be would be great to see both of you.
And if you want, I could do a strip. It won't be attractive, but I could do it.
You know what? I know what this is. Probably one of the flyers I did. There's another artist that's near and dear to my heart, and he was probably one of the beginners of the classic disco era. Monty Rock III. Who remembers him?
I know Monty. I used to work with him.
He was on the Johnny Carson show, and and Harold Stern used to have him on all the time. I love him. He's a great guy, and he's coming to. He used to work at the Great Northern Hotel for Larry Matthews, the hairdresser, years ago. And if a customer didn't like what he did, he'd faint on the floor and lay there. And he wouldn't get up. He wouldn't get up till the customer left. Monty is a riot. I would love to see Monty. I haven't seen him in 50 years or more. I was like 18 years old. I would love to see Monty. He was way out back then.
So everybody, to go back
He's
one
a
more
great
time.
guy, Monty. Crazy, but great.
It's Soho Johnny presents the Classic Summer Disco Extravaganza. It's going to be hosted by Soho Johnny and Denny Terrio from Dance Fever. It's August 10th, 2019 at the Italian Center of Stamford in Stamford, Connecticut. There's plenty of hotels everywhere for you guys to go make a weekend of it. Get your tickets at sohojohnny.com, and you can see Tavares, Harold Melvin's Blue Notes, Sharon Brown, Instant Funk, Heat Wave, Double Exposure, Monty Rock III, Terry DeSerio, Planet Patrol, Fonda Ray, radio featuring Arnell Carmichael, Constantine Maroulis, who we had on our show a couple of years ago when he was on American Idol, Stan the Man Hampton, Robert Barco, Danny Clay, Jimmy Bohorn, and the star guy from Hanson and Davis. Star Hanson, there you go. Get your tickets at sohojohnny.com, everybody. There you go.
And you should go do some movies, because I'm getting tired of always playing the hood. You know, I'm getting old for that role. Every movie they put me in, I'm a mafia boss, or I'm a gang boss, or I'm some kind of a hood.
Yeah, you'd probably be easy to cast.
So I'd be happy for you to take over that role.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I'm going to put a plug out for Star. Star Hansen is producing a movie right now as we speak. He actually invited me on there. I may do a cameo.
You have to go do it. Yes, do it.
I think it's a horror movie.
You're a handsome man. You're very handsome. Show that face off.
Yeah, everybody in the chat room loves you. Everybody says you look like the guy from the early seasons of Law and Order SVU.
No, he looks like Vic Damone. Doesn't anybody know who Vic Damone is? Vic Damone was
both of them.
Vic Damone was a handsome Italian singer.
What a nice smile, too. All right, we got to go to our next guest.
Are those teeth yours?
I hope so.
They're nice teeth. Nice teeth.
All right, everybody, get your ticket to SohoJohnny.com. And Johnny, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank
Hey,
you so much
Pasquale,
for having me on the show,
I hope-
everybody. Share the love.
Alrighty,
I
bye-bye.
hope we see you in August.
I hope so.
Ciao, Bella.
Bye-bye.
Ciao,
Ciao, bello.
Yay!
Ciao.